Resilience renewed. A post-pandemic tale. In the quiet, uncertain days following the pandemic, the world woke up to a new reality. A reality where the familiar had been upended, where routines were disrupted, and where the future was uncertain. The pandemic had left a lasting mark on humanity, but as with any crisis, it also revealed the incredible strength and resilience of the human spirit. Part 1: Shattered Lives. In the early days of the pandemic, the world was paralyzed by fear and confusion. No one was prepared for the rapid spread of the virus, and governments around the world struggled to contain it. People were confined to their homes, and the streets that were once bustling with life were now eerily empty. The world had come to a standstill. Amidst this chaos, we meet Heather, a young woman living in a bustling city, who had just started her dream job in a small startup. But as the pandemic raged on, she found herself furloughed, and then laid off. The loss of her job was a devastating blow, and it left her feeling lost and anxious about her future. The pandemic had shattered her sense of security, and she struggled to make ends meet. As the days turned into weeks and then months, Heather faced a daily battle with her anxieties and fears. She had always been a fiercely independent and motivated individual, but the pandemic had left her feeling defeated. She couldn't help but wonder if life would ever return to normal, or if she would ever find her place in this new world. Part 2: A Glimpse of Hope. Despite the darkness that seemed to have settled over the world, there were glimmers of hope. Scientists and healthcare workers worked tirelessly to develop vaccines and treatments for the virus. Governments and organizations came together to support those in need. Communities rallied to help their neighbors, and people found new ways to connect and support one another through the isolation. One day, as Heather was scrolling through social media, she came across a video of a doctor who had just received the vaccine. The doctor's face was filled with relief and gratitude, and she spoke of hope for the future. It was a small moment, but it sparked something inside Heather. It reminded her that even in the darkest of times, there could be a glimmer of hope. Heather decided to take matters into her own hands. She started volunteering at a local food bank, helping to distribute food to families in need. It was a small gesture, but it gave her a sense of purpose and a way to give back to her community. She also began to explore new opportunities for remote work and started taking online courses to expand her skills. Part 3: Adapting to Change. As the pandemic continued to impact the world, it became clear that the old ways of doing things would no longer suffice. Businesses had to adapt to the changing landscape, and individuals had to find new ways to navigate their lives. Heather's determination to adapt and find new opportunities eventually led to a remote freelance job. It wasn't her dream job, but it was a start. She learned to juggle multiple gigs and honed her time management skills. She was also pleasantly surprised by the supportive community she found among her fellow freelancers. They shared advice and encouragement, helping her navigate the challenges of this new work landscape. Meanwhile, businesses were reimagining their operations. Traditional brick and mortar stores moved to online platforms, and remote work became the new norm for many. The world was changing, and those who were willing to adapt found new opportunities. Part 4: The Power of Resilience. Over time, Heather's resilience grew. She realized that the pandemic had forced her to confront her fears and weaknesses, and in doing so, she had emerged stronger and more resilient. She was no longer the same person she had been before the crisis. She had developed a deep sense of empathy for those who were struggling, and she had learned to appreciate the small moments of joy and connection in her life. One day, while on a Zoom call with her freelance colleagues, Heather shared her story and the lessons she had learned. She was met with an outpouring of support and gratitude from her peers. It was then that she realized the power of sharing one's journey and inspiring others. Inspired by her own transformation and the support of her community, Heather decided to start a blog. She wanted to share stories of resilience and hope, to remind people that they could overcome even the most challenging of circumstances. Her blog gained a following, and she became a source of inspiration for many. Part 5: A New World Emerges. As the years passed, the world began to emerge from the pandemic's shadow. Vaccination efforts had been successful, and the virus was no longer the overwhelming threat it once was. People cautiously returned to their workplaces, but many chose to continue working remotely, having discovered the benefits of flexibility and work-life balance. The world was forever changed, and it was not without scars. People had lost loved ones, businesses had closed, and economies had suffered. But there was also a newfound sense of unity and resilience. The pandemic had taught humanity the importance of coming together in the face of adversity and the need to adapt to a changing world. Heather's blog continued to grow, and she found herself invited to speak at events and conferences. She shared her story of struggle and transformation, inspiring others to embrace change and build resilience. She became an advocate for mental health and well-being, emphasizing the importance of supporting one another through difficult times. In this post-pandemic world, the values of empathy, resilience, and adaptability took center stage. People no longer took the small moments for granted, and they appreciated the strength of their communities. The world had faced a crisis that had tested its limits, but it had also shown the incredible potential for growth and transformation. Conclusion: Resilience Renewed. Resilience Renewed is a story of struggle, motivation, and inspiration set in a post-pandemic world. It follows the journey of Heather, a young woman who, like many, faced the challenges of the pandemic and emerged stronger and more resilient. Through her story, we see the power of the human spirit to adapt, overcome, and inspire others. The pandemic brought about significant changes in the world, but it also revealed the enduring qualities of compassion, community, and the ability to find hope in the darkest of times. Heather's story is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and a reminder that even in the face of adversity, there is the potential for growth and renewal. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please hit the like button if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button to learn English through watching these kinds of interesting stories daily. Please click on the screen on any video showing on your screen to watch it next. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video till the end.